Good afternoon from Carrow Road. It's been a glorious day in East Anglia, more like an Easter bank holiday than Christmas time, and an unaccustomed incentive for Norwich, whatever the time of year really. A win today will see them regain the First Division leadership. Well, Arsenal slipped into pole position yesterday, ending Norwich's 11-week reign at the top. Brian Marwood's second of the match proving decisive against Charlton at Selhurst Park. One of 22 First Division goals yesterday. You'll see them all at half-time. Well, Merry Christmas, everyone. Relax, feet up. Turkey sandwiches, the last of the wine. That's the order of the day. It's Norwich against West Ham. At least you haven't seen it on video before. This is how important it is. Arsenal a point in front, but even a draw for Norwich wouldn't be good enough to create any positional change there. Arsenal's goal difference far superior. So only a win for Norwich today will suffice. Well, when they went top 11 weeks ago, few people expected them to be there or thereabouts for very long. Well, they are, on merit, but how have they done it? What's the knack? Let's hear from manager Dave Stringer.
There's no real secret, but the spirit in the side and the willingness to work for each other. I think that's the secret with any good side. You can have a team of internationals, but if they're not working together, then of course you're working as lone units, and this has come through to my mind throughout the season. They've worked very hard, got the results, and then the confidence has grown, and we've built on that. Watching at home today, you won't know too much about my players, but we've picked 5 out for you to look for. The first one we look at is Brian Gunn. This season he's had a particularly good time. He's been very steady for us. He's made 1 or 2 good penalty saves, and of course he's given a couple away as well, but he's been able to make up for them. Andy Linnigan, who we brought from Oldham, has been a very good buy for us. He's done a very good job at the back. He's another big man who's dominating in both boxes. He scored a few vital goals for us this year. A good character amongst the players, you know, someone that is not probably one of the big outgoing people, but when he said something, you know, people take notice. And next one to look at, Mickey Phelan, who was skipper of the club. A very good club man, a very good man for the team, a good family man, and someone that the younger players can look up to. In fact, you know, for such a young man, he's quite a father figure.
And now it's Phelan. That's a beauty from the captain, Mickey Phelan.
Dale Gordon, one of the younger members of the side, popularly known as Flash Gordon to the players because of his dressing style, and also likes to be a little bit flash on the pitch as well. You know, he's got a good few tricks up his sleeve. He's certainly played well this year.
Oliver House playing that to Fleck. Oh, for Dale Gordon! This is going to be the equaliser!
And now Robert Fleck, who seems to be getting quite a bit of publicity lately. A bubbly character. Has scored most of the goals this season for us. The sort of character that is good for the team when he's on song, and you know, you can't relax when you've got people that are always sniffing around for goals.
And Norwich knocking the ball around well again. That's very much their style. Can Phelan reach it? He can. Fleck! A very special goal for Norwich City from Robert Fleck.
Well, I'll tell you how special that goal by Robert Fleck, the winner against Spurs on October the 22nd. That was the last time that Norwich won here at Carrow Road 9 weeks ago. Quite remarkable, really, especially when you consider during that period of time they've won at Manchester United and Liverpool. Well, what of West Ham? Enigmatic, that's one way of describing them. Bottom of the First Division, and yet capable of inflicting on Liverpool their heaviest defeat for 5 years, which came at Upton Park in the Littlewoods Cup, 4-1 to the Hammers. So with quality players like Paul Ince and particularly Liam Brady, it's difficult to pinpoint what's going wrong.
Liam Brady, why the contrast between your cup and league form?
Well, it's hard to know, Jim, exactly. Perhaps the fact that we've been down the bottom end of the table for really most of the season has been a burden on the players from match to match, whereas in the cup, one-off thing, they've kind of forgotten about their troubles. Having said that, we've done pretty well against the top side, so hopefully we can do something today.
Is there any hint of desperation creeping in at Upton Park?
No, obviously we're looking at what the other teams are doing about us, and yesterday wasn't the best of days for us, so it's vital that we really get something today. But really, no, we have to look at ourselves and get some consistency to our better performances, and try and get up that table.
And here come Norwich. Live pictures from Carrow Road this afternoon, to a great reception too by a crowd somewhere approaching the 20,000 mark. There they are, great enthusiasm. We wait now for West Ham. Even 3 points today wouldn't actually take West Ham off the bottom of the First Division. There they are. And our commentary team today is Trevor Francis, who insists we call him boss these days, and Martin Tyler.
Thanks, Elton. Good afternoon, everyone. Compliments of the season to you all. This is the Norwich City side striving to reclaim leadership of the First Division. Brian Gunn, an ever-present in goal. Ian Culverhouse is the right-back signed from Tottenham, as was the left-back, Mark Bowen, a Welsh international. And Ian Crook at number 4, also secured from Spurs, where Glenn Hoddle had a great influence on his game. Andy Linnigan, the strong man in the centre of the defence. Andy Townsend, the hero of Anfield, at 6. Dale Gordon, a stone lighter this season, at 7. Then Robert Fleck, fit again after a back injury, to partner 6'4" Robert Rosario, the main strike force for Norwich. Michael Phelan will operate as a centre-back wearing number 10, and Perky Trevor Putney plays on the left of a 4-man midfield. Here's Andy Townsend, clearly a player for the big occasion. 2 goals this season, the first a last-minute winner at Old Trafford in October. And then it was Townsend who created the result which really showed off Norwich City's credentials, the winner at Anfield in their last league game. West Ham have the Northern Ireland international number 1 goalkeeper Alan McKnight. At right back is Steve Potts, although Ray Stewart is fit again and a substitute today. George Paris deputises again for the suspended Julian Dix. Tony Gale is one half of a strong pairing in the centre of defence, alongside Alvin Martin, the captain. At 6, Alan Devonshire, 32 now, but still stylish in midfield. Liam Brady is another who proves the durability of high-quality skill. David Kelly has stepped into the Tony Cottee role after his summer signing from Walsall. At 9, Leroy Rossignol, forceful up front. Alan Dickens at 10, providing a deft touch from midfield. And at 11, Paul Ince, the scourge of Liverpool in that 4-1 Littlewoods Cup sensation. The referee is an executive engineer with British Telecom, Mick Bailey. And alongside me, Trevor Francis, ITV pundit, but First Division manager, and Norwich City very much in your mind.
That's right, because we play them next Monday at Shepherd's Bush, so apart from doing a bit of work for the TV today, I'm also very interested in spying on them for my colleagues in the team at Queen's Park Rangers.
Well, Norwich City, often regarded as the country cousins, but now proving themselves an important member of the First Division family. The teams have had an extra day to digest any Christmas excesses. As you'd expect, Norwich City, the club, provided their players with turkeys by way of a Christmas bonus. They're pretty good in this part of the world. And as they say up here, the weather has been beautiful today. Very mild for late December, but nothing mild about the match we're about to witness. So West Ham will kick off, propping up the First Division. Not a lucky ground for them either. You have to go back to February 1973 for the last time they won here in the league. Alan McKnight's first clearance dropped straight to Dale Gordon. Linnigan covering across. So far, Norwich lasting the pace that they set with 4 successive wins in their opening 4 league games of the season. That was a club record. It was a hard act to follow, but they played with patience and with skill and with tremendous collective effort. Townsend. Dickens. Messina to the left, and Kelly had pulled away to the right. And got support here from Potts. Brady starting on the right with Devonshire on the left. Rossini, as expected, through the centre. And that was Phelan stepping in the nick of time for Norwich. A very stable character, Michael Phelan. Rosario really the target for the long clearances in the air, and Fleck, the smaller man, expected to feed off the flicks. Putney. 4 is Ian Crook. Came off Townsend. Well, Devonshire read that very easily from Mark Bowen. Norwich trying to settle to their patient rhythm. They're happy to keep the ball, play it from the back. Putney taking it on the chest and trying to drive on. Didn't come to Rosario. But it's going to be a match of midfield skills. West Ham are pretty well equipped in that department. Devonshire finding Rossini. Townsend, who favours the left foot, as you saw. Dickens, harassed by Fleck, chasing back. Gordon. Linnigan has spotted Bowen in space. Crook trying to take it on the burst. Might come for Rosario. The flick is for Gordon. Carried away by McKnight. The first strike in anger came from Norwich and from Dale Gordon. With 3 minutes gone, it's led to the game's first corner. Alan McKnight, who was beaten 4 times in the Northern Ireland goal in the week leading up to Christmas in Spain. Alvin Martin, after Rosario had started his jump and checked as though he felt there was someone coming in behind him. There was, but not a Norwich teammate. Rosario and Linnigan poised to attack the ball from the edge of the area. Phelan and Townsend looking in the near post area. Gordon takes the corner. It's coming for Rosario! Norwich not able to really convert it, but Linnigan in there again, and so too was Rosario. For Trevor, as the ball came in then, and Rosario seemed to be getting to it first, it looked a reasonable chance.
Yes, I would think that West Ham would be quite relieved to have overcome that early pressure, because in the space of 1 minute we had 2 chances. First of all from Gordon, then the second one you're talking about from Rosario.
Both teams trained on Christmas morning and again yesterday. Very much a working time of year for professional footballers. Devonshire, Dickens. It came behind Kelly and behind Rossini. But just a hint of vulnerability about Norwich at the back there. Devonshire. Here's Gale. Brady with Potts going outside him. Steve Potts, who's filled in very capably for Ray Stewart, who's only had a couple of First Division games this season because of a long-term hamstring injury, but Stewart and Kevin Keane, the West Ham substitutes today. Well, it wasn't a malicious challenge, but it was an unfair one by Ian Crook on David Kelly. West Ham just waiting while Gale and more belatedly Marvin Martin goes up, and that's Alan Taylor, one of the two Norwich substitutes. More on him in a moment. Gale. Culverhouse. And the sprint between the two number 11s. In the end, the ball beat them both. But Alan Taylor, sitting with Ian Butterworth there, Taylor on the left, who scored 2 goals in the 1975 FA Cup final for West Ham. And then he had a spell with Norwich, moved into the lower divisions, and then came here as a non-contract player in the close season, and has earned himself a contract and plenty of goals in the reserves. Finds him on the verge of a chance of playing against the team he served so well so many years ago. Here's Kelly. Rosario.
It's interesting that both teams play a similar type of football. Both like to pass the ball around, keeping possession, and tactically they're both playing in a similar way, 4-4-2. The only slight difference to what we expected was that Liam Brady, who's so noted for his lovely left foot, is playing on the right side of midfield, with Devonshire switching to the left.
It's a similar shape for West Ham to the team that beat Liverpool. Dickens getting in behind Crook and able to release his pass to Brady in that position that Trevor Francis was describing. Potts. A lot of West Ham players forward here. Dickens is one of them. Brady in the end hoists it high. Phelan hasn't dropped cleanly for Norwich to clear. And Dave Stringer and his assistant nearer the camera, David Williams, pondering a start where West Ham have played their part. On the ground where they last visited on New Year's Day at the start of the year and were beaten 4-1. What a difference a year has made to Norwich City. Christmas a year ago, bottom of the First Division, and here they are trying to reclaim their place at the top. Brady reading it well. Putney. Bowen looking for some movement ahead of him. But in fact, it came from the player nearest to him, Ian Crook. Culverhouse. And Tony Gale in command. West Ham so much more secure with Gale and Martin in harness in the centre of their defence. Over the last couple of years, they've had between them so many injury problems. Often been able to operate. They're funneling back now in the face of Dale Gordon. Well, it's a run that reflects his new confidence this season. I said at the outset, he shed a stone, had an appetite for junk food, and even admitting to 1 or 2 drinks too many in the past. But it's a new Dale Gordon, and it's reflected in his sharpness on the field. Rosenior nicely down for Dickens. Interception from Linnigan. Perhaps one thing lacking in Norwich's style is real explosive pace up front. Fleck, who looks for knockdowns in opposing penalty areas, and the tall Rosario. Paris. Well, the free kick given against Linnigan for the foul on Kelly. It was an attempt to play the ball, but obviously Mick Bailey felt he didn't get there first. Not quite in the territory where Tony Gale scored from so spectacularly against Liverpool, and Gale has just made his way into the centre, leaving the free kick to Brady. And that should be the goalkeeper's, despite a praiseworthy leap by Leroy Rosenior. Norwich trying to pick up the tempo. Townsend. It's a good cross on the run, one for Rosario to fight for, and Fleck. But the whistle, in fact, I think had gone against Robert Rosario for the way he jumped. But Trevor, that was the combination that possibly we should be looking for.
Yes, I was very interested there in the run that Andy Townsend made from midfield. He's playing alongside Crook, but he's the one that's coming to support the front players, and unless West Ham track him down, they could have problems.
The ball was placed for a free kick rather than a goal kick, so Rosario was penalised. Townsend. Here's Bowen. He's got Putney to the left. Fleck through the centre. Ian Crook, who loves to spread the play, and invited Culverhouse to chase on there. In fact, he was a little reluctant to accept the invitation. An understanding that started in the Tottenham youth team. Rosenior. I was with the West Ham players yesterday evening when they heard that the Pools panel had marked this down as a home win. They weren't too pleased, I can tell you, and come here determined to prove those eminent gentlemen wrong. They've made a reasonable start. Gale. Now Paris. And Potts has to play it back because Rosario saw to that. It was possession from West Ham, but not to any real purpose. Rosario took up the position well. Dickens. Gale kept his eye on the ball, whereas Fleck was rather looking at his opponent. Devonshire. Well, the away teams have done very well in the games we brought you live on the match so far this season. West Ham striving here to continue that sequence. It hasn't yet been a home win. Gale wants McKnight to come, and Fleck was making up the ground all the time. I think Alan McKnight a little concerned that he might be sliding out of the area, but it all was dealt with safely enough. Devonshire, well found again by Rosenior. Back from Dickens, Culverhouse only as far as Dickens. Ince was trying to dart in ahead of the ball then and make a pass possible for Alan Dickens, and West Ham are looking to sense the right moment to break on from midfield, and with 15 minutes gone, they're holding Norwich City 0-0.
considering that West Ham are rooted at the bottom of the table, they made a very encouraging start. They don't look a team to be lacking confidence. Plenty of possession, but it's not possession that wins games, Martin, is it? It's goals that win games.
You are talking like a manager now, Trevor. Putney. Bowen. And it has been the possession more than the penetration which has caught the eye so far. Both teams well aware that not only is there a huge television audience, but also in that audience a high percentage of their peer group, the other league professionals, all watching and evaluating. Really on show. Townsend has got into the match well so far. Alvin Martin, a fine example to young players in every respect except one, I suppose, with the shin pads not used. Fleck trying to thread it through for Gordon. Rosario's waiting on the far post if the cross comes in. And Gale, always very tidy at the back, Tony Gale. Putney. It is a Norwich throw after the debating. Rosario slipped at the crucial moment, and Martin was trying to take his arm out of the way. So if it was handball, it wasn't intentional. Brady. Paris. Dickens. Well, that's a move being built here in the West Ham style. Brady tried to quicken it up. And maybe Norwich can use space now, having lured West Ham on a little bit. Townsend, though, wants some support. It's there from Phelan. Martin. Paris playing for a regular place because Julian Dix will be free of suspension for the next game on New Year's Eve. Trevor, there's so much talk in the game about the long ball and perhaps too much use of it, but we're not getting that today.
No, well, as I said earlier, that the two teams who play a similar type of football both like to pass it around, looking to get the front players in as early as possible. And also the two midfield boys are coming to support the play. Similar styles.
I suppose advocates of the longer game will say, well, we've had a lot of neat touches in midfield, but not too many goal-mouth incidents so far. Here's Bowen for Norwich. Michael Phelan playing at the back. They do lose his impetus in midfield, but Ian Butterworth lost his place through catching the flu. And Norwich played well without him, and Dave Stringer has been fair to the players who've served him well in Butterworth's absence. And Putney just got ahead too quickly as Townsend tried to sweep the ball through West Ham then. Culverhouse has to cover. Paul Ince, who's having a good season for West Ham. Obviously caught the eye with the 2 goals against Liverpool, but is a talented player in midfield where the influence of Liam Brady, I'm sure, has helped him. The pitch heavily watered over the weekend. Norwich trying to copy a lot of what Liverpool do. One of the things they've realised is that Liverpool always have an excellent surface at Anfield. Almost came off the head of Gale for Fleck. Harris clears. For all the good work by the ground staff here, it hasn't been the best of pitches in recent seasons. Rosario getting nudged, he felt, at the crucial moment. And at 6'4", he's going to be a handful in the air. And Alvin Martin well equipped to deal with that threat.
Martin, it's nice to see Liam Brady back to his best again after his serious knee injury. After 20 minutes, he looks the best player on the field at the moment. He finds so much time for himself, and I think one of his ability will always find time and space.
Helped on by Crook to Gordon. Culverhouse going outside him. Crook, who has the passing skills capable of unlocking any defence. He's in support of Culverhouse here. And that was a neat ball to Fleck. That was perhaps a little example of Ian Crook's passing skill that he learnt from watching Glenn Hoddle day in and day out at the Tottenham training ground. But Crook had to come away from White Hart Lane to make his mark on the First Division. This time he's found Culverhouse offside. Controlling himself. It is amazing that Norwich have only had 3 home wins in the First Division, 6 away. Had they really had any sort of home form, they would have blazed a trail at the top, way ahead at the moment, instead of striving here to get back above Arsenal. Devonshire. At the moment, though, Norwich rather letting West Ham play, and there's a chance for Tony Gale. And Dickens. And that's really brought the crowd to life, and perhaps Norwich City as well. Not operating at top speed and not at top concentration at the back. But they survived when first Gale and then Dickens had the chance to give West Ham a lead. It just opened up for Tony Gale. His shot was blocked. Dickens was saved by Gunn. And that was a wrap across the Norwich knuckles. But now they have the corner. Gordon to take it. And McKnight to fist away. Collected by Bowen. Here's Crook. The drilled ball in. Dealt with, though, by Ince. Brady orchestrating. Looking to find that killer pass again, which he's quite capable. The skill that he showed at Arsenal, Liam Brady, really finely tuned in Italy, where one through pass could win a match. dry shake of the head on the Norwich bench from Dave Williams, who's still incidentally registered as a player. Devonshire. Losing out to Gordon. Norwich now trying to warm to their task. Fleck, Townsend on his strong left foot. Knight had to be sure with the handling with Gordon following in. Trevor, they just quickened it up a little bit then.
Yes, good layoff there by Robert Fleck. Knocked it through defenders' legs to Townsend, who was breaking through. I was talking to Robert Fleck before the game, and he's an ex-teammate of mine, of course, from Glasgow Rangers, and a bit concerned, Robert is, because in the last 8 games he hasn't scored a goal, and I would think that's part of the reason why Norwich have not been doing so well, because they do rely on Robert for his goals.
Yes, in all matches, Fleck's got 7. Rosario 5. They've been spread throughout the team, but not in any vast numbers. Fleck having to come deep to get involved here. Crooks straining to get there, and Devonshire beat him to it. Kelly. Well, that's typical Michael Phelan. I know he's caught the eye of Bobby Robson with his performances for Norwich City this season. Mostly in midfield, it must be said. But he's got such a sharp football brain that he's perfectly suited to play at the back. Rosario helps it on. Norwich will want him to do plenty of that. Now, how will Alvin Martin extricate himself here? Well, he didn't lose his cool, and West Ham have the throw. City have dropped 13 points this season at home and only 5 points away. In contrast, they're being pressed by West Ham here and Leroy Rossignol. Well, the angle was widening. And Rossignol decided really to go for the shot. There wasn't too much up in the way of support. Looking for his 50th goal in the Football League.
I think he's been a little bit optimistic there, Martin, wasn't he? I think he had to get his foot around it and get it to the back post there for a colleague coming in.
Rosario. Townsend. Fleck sprinting ahead of him, and he's found by Townsend, and then both Fleck and then McKnight lost their bearings and the ball. But Fleck, probably, Trevor, typical of what you were saying about him, just not running for Robert Fleck in front of goal.
No, that was a great chance, actually. Townsend made a great run through, and Robert was unlucky, just fell at the wrong moment.
Gordon takes the corner. Putney, Crook can shoot. And the deflection actually took the ball into the pack of West Ham defenders. Ian Crook again. Well, Paris was late on Townsend. And although Norwich kept the ball, Mick Bailey, the referee, hadn't looked away, and it's the name of George Paris that's going to be taken. With 15 minutes remaining in the first half. A caution for a late tackle. And a free kick to Norwich. And it's Paris who cleared it. And Ince who tries to lead the counter-attack. Finding himself some time beautifully. Kelly. Well, Kelly didn't connect cleanly, but he would have appreciated there the tremendous work by Paul Ince, with West Ham defending at the free kick and then sprinting the length of the pitch. David Kelly, by his own admission, is finding it a little harder than he expected in the First Division, having stepped up. Well, I suppose if we've got Fleck the poacher at one end for Norwich, it's Kelly who's the similar type at the other end for West Ham. Potts. And Linegan's header drops only towards Kelly. That wasn't really what he'd hoped for. Phelan's gone across with him. West Ham have the throw. Brady to take it. Senior hoping that a cross will come in. Brady wasn't quite set to deliver it, but now he does. Rossini is there. Well, I think on that occasion it worked against Liam Brady, the left foot, because as he went deeper and deeper, it was harder and harder for Rossini with the angle from which the ball arrived. Well, the last 4 home games for Norwich in the First Division, all drawn. And there is one viewer today who's hoping for another draw here, a 1-1 draw. We've heard from Ladbrokes, the bookmakers, that there's one of their customers who would win £250,000 if this finishes 1-1. On the selecting the results to go with 5 successful selections yesterday. Rosario has got a free kick, a push by Alvin Martin. Linegan's made his way forward again, very involved in the Norwich set plays. It goes deeper to Rosario, Fleck is right in there. Senior was helping out at the back for West Ham. Kelly. Only Dickens up with him, although Ince has made up the ground now. And Rossini as well. In the space of a few seconds, involved on the edge of both goal areas. Ten minutes to go in the first half here at Carrow Road. It's Norwich City 0 and West Ham United 0. All the First Division goals from yesterday to set before you as your half-time treat. Here's Bowen. Norwich have had a measure of control as the half has developed. McKnight, the busier of the 2 goalkeepers. And the pick of the chances in the first 35 minutes, one for Robert Fleck for Norwich, and a Tony Gale sortie for West Ham. But here's Kelly. Culverhouse covered infield well. Carrow Road, for those of you who haven't seen it in the flesh, so to speak, opened in 1935 when West Ham were the visitors for the inaugural game. That finished 4-3 to Norwich. to get to in the past. East Anglia, something of an outpost, but the communications are much better, and the club has got that much better to get themselves on the map. Fleck. Martin well forward to make the interception. Now Devonshire. Dickens, possibly a shot on. This is the senior. Ince. West Ham possibly need to bring a little bit of width into the build-up. And in fact, as Devonshire was fouled, he was looking to the left towards Paris, who was free. Gale and Martin, the two centre-backs in there again. Paris with the cross. Devonshire, Norwich pinned into their own area. And here's Paris. West Ham needing a good cross from him, but he looks instead for Gale. Brady, and he explode one with the left foot. No foul, and West Ham might be a little short at the back here. The free man on the far side is Putney, found by Townsend. Bowen charging up in support. West Ham scurrying back. And McKnight misjudged it badly. And West Ham, who were really going for the game's first goal in force at the other end, were backpedaling with a touch of panic.
They were pushing forward, Martin looking for the goal, and left themselves a bit bare at the back, and Townsend exploited it with a good crossfield pass.
The best header by Brady, down from Linnigan. Putney sees Bowen and finds him. Out from Ince. Kelly in a little too much of a hurry. Good ball by Townsend, who's had a fine first half. Crook. And it's Townsend making the forward run. Rosario right in there, and McKnight challenged forcefully by Rosario, and I think it's going to be a West Ham free kick for the challenge. But again, Trevor, Andy Townsend was a key man here.
Well, he's certainly taken the eye first half with his forward runs. It's these type of runs that are causing problems for the West Ham defence, because some of the Norwich balls that have been put into the box for Rosario are a little predictable.
Crook. Well, that's the confidence that Norwich have, playing the ball across their own penalty area there through Bowen. Well taken by Gordon from Rosario, for Norwich to his left. Putney is one of them. Well, it was deflected wide when it seemed a clean header there from Putney, and West Ham would be in real trouble. It actually hit Alvin Martin. The positioning still the same for Norwich at the set play. Rosario, but he was leaning down. But as the ball was in the air towards Trevor Putney, he did start to sense that Norwich were going to take the lead a moment or two ago.
It was an excellent cross from Dale Gordon. I think that if we can just see this coming now, yeah, I think Trevor Putney should really have hit the target with that one. But that's the type of crosses that Norwich have to keep looking for. You know, too many of the crosses have been coming from flat positions. They must get it out wide to Dale Gordon and get the crosses in from wide positions.
Fleck's dummy, and Alvin Martin wasn't fooled. And he goes forward to join in again in support of Devonshire. He's got Kelly to his left and now going on ahead of him. And it's threaded through for David Kelly. Kelly for West Ham. That's a little move that not dissimilar to the one that got Gale in earlier in the half. The player who starts wide, then making a run in ahead of the ball, Trevor, and it's just threaded through into a channel that Norwich can't block off.
That's correct. That's about the third time now they've threaded their way through the Norwich defence, and if only the finishing had matched some of the build-up play, West Ham could have perhaps been the lead by now.
And what a difference a good result for West Ham would mean to their dismal league season. 3 points, but a tremendous advantage in terms of morale if they could come here and get a victory. They've had enough encouraging moments in the first half to suggest that it's not beyond their play. Three minutes remaining in the first half. Here's Phelan. He was looking for Rosario, who might get it by virtue of a mistake by Potts. Linnigan. Gordon, who has that skill and lack of predictability in his play, which might just freshen the Norwich mix if they can get the ball to him. Culverhouse was just going in to win the ball. In the end, McKnight had to field it, although it was passing wide. Lovely work by Paul Ince. And with sheer individual inspiration, he's earned West Ham a free kick. I'm sure that will be appreciated by John Lyall, the manager. Didn't travel with the players last night to their Norwich hotel. He'd been in Birmingham, checking up on Aston Villa. West Ham play Villa, of course, in the quarter-final of the Littlewoods Cup early in the new year. Well, Brady is always a possibility at free kicks. Gale loitering with intent as well. But he leaves it for Liam. A skimmer from Ince, way off target, but again reflecting his own self-belief. Trevor, I don't know how much you've seen of Paul Ince, but when you talk to people around the game this season, his name often comes up as one really to watch for.
Well, I watched the game on the television against Liverpool when he did exceptionally well, and he showed one or two individual bits of skill here today, which very promising for the future. As you say, he's only a young boy, 21 years of age, so he's got a promising career ahead of him. You have to be careful what you say now, Trevor, because other managers will accuse you of poaching if you say too many nice things about them. The only thing is certain, Martin, is I've seen you play and I shan't be buying yourself.
Well, on a more serious note, would you like to sum up the first half for us?
Yes, without a goal, but some very, very good individual performances from Brady, Devonshire for West Ham, and Townsend for Norwich. But I'm sure that, you know, if they keep playing the way they have been first half, we will see a goal in the second half.
So that's it, much to admire in midfield, but at half-time at Carrow Road, Norwich City 0, West Ham United 0.
Yes, thanks, Martin. The match beginning to justify the occasion towards the end of that first half. Well, after the break, the First Division goals from yesterday, and a fine selection they are too. Alan McInally of Aston Villa keeping up his goal-per-game ratio. One from Everton's Trevor Stephen, described in one of the papers this morning as George Best-like. There's Boxing Day, in more ways than one, down at the Dell. And there's Rushy, back in the old routine. Join us again. Welcome back. No goals here at Carrow Road. We'll enjoy the benefit of hindsight with Trevor Francis shortly. Trevor, of course, once again featuring in our half-time goals roundup. Here they are.
First of all, let's look at the new leaders and the bookmakers' favourites for the title, Arsenal. Penalty given there after 25 minutes, and referee Roger Milford absolutely right. If we look at it again, Tommy Caton pulling the shirt off Alan Smith's back. Now, Brian Marwood missed a penalty here at Carrow Road a couple of weeks ago. No mistakes this time round. Arsenal, though, took a real battering in the second half, but proved themselves the master of the counter-punch. Bob Boulder not too pleased with his punch there. Merson makes it 2-0. Coming up, though, a tremendous last 15 minutes. Charlton on a dangerous spiral, 9 without a win. They're going to need all this fighting spirit to stay in the First Division. Campbell with the cross, and the substitute, Steve McKenzie, touches it in. Just a couple of minutes later, a fine first-time ball there from Rocastle. Merson in the clear. Off the post, and Marwood is in for his second goal. Well, Charlton still had time for the best goal of the game from Steve McKenzie. Arsenal, though, atop. George Graham, the manager, says it means nothing now. Being there in May is what counts.
Goals were always going to be at a premium at the baseball ground. Derby and Liverpool with the best defensive records in the First Division. The goal was a special one. Had to be, really. It was McMahon who put Beardsley away. Now, where's Rushy? There he is, right on cue. Looks almost surprised, probably relieved. His first for 2 months.
We've seen all this before. Long throw from Vinnie Jones. Confusion in the opponent's penalty area. Carlton Fairweather with the only goal of the game. The early leaders, Millwall, have now lost 3 out of 4.
Down at the Dell, Coventry started out as if they'd been fed on raw meat over Christmas, with Southampton destined for the old turkey treatment. David Phillips, first of the season. He used to score him like that for Manchester City. Greg Downs' free kick as Coventry come forward again. Keith Houchins scooping the ball over Flowers. Gary Bannister adding the finishing touch. 2-0 Coventry. But Southampton, who surrendered a 2-goal lead at Newcastle last week, began the renaissance. Jimmy Case picking out a Wallace. Anyone will do. It happened to be Rodney. Into injury time. Kevin Moore with the equaliser. But that wasn't all that happened in this match. The Christmas spirit certainly not in evidence in that challenge, and what followed was pretty unseasonal too. Now, I know it was Boxing Day, lads, but that's ridiculous. Sent off, Gary Bannister and Russell Osman.
No Radcliffe, Sharp or Clark in the Everton team. Trevor Stephen playing as a striker. Brilliant skill here after only 3 minutes. Everton putting a good run together at the moment, but Middlesbrough equalising on 15 minutes. That's Ripley pulled down by Vanden Howe. And Borough, who tend to struggle away from home, on terms with this penalty from Dean Glover. But a really stylish goal winning the match for Everton. Superb build-up down this near side. Nevin, and then Snowden, and Tony Cotty, so sharp at the end of it. That's his 12th of the season.
You'd have fancied this on the pool's coupons beforehand. 19 draws between them this season, and you'd have backed Mark Hughes to score here as well. But it eventually went to Ralph Milne, his second since joining United from Bristol City. Gordon Strachan set up the second, obviously not been using the right sort of deodorant. Not a Forest player in sight as he goes on and on and on before setting up Hughes, who doesn't score ordinary goals, his 9th in 12 games.
No goals like that at White Hart Lane, but a missed penalty. That's Foster with a foul on the former Luton player Walsh. Terry Fenwick is Spurs' top scorer. He converted all 5. But Seeley reacts well here, and then look what happens as it comes back in over the top from Fenwick from just a couple of yards. Luton, though, probably deserved their point.
Newcastle went behind after 3 minutes. straightforward enough, but neatly finished off by the unmarked David Hurst. Well, Jim Smith is having a big influence at Newcastle. So's one of his new signings, Kevin Brock. His free kick, Rob McDonald, formerly of PSV Eindhoven, heading in the equaliser. Well, the winner coming up. Afterwards, the scorer, Michael O'Neill, said he knew precisely what he was doing, was always in control. Well, it's Christmas. I believe you, Michael.
The Villa are an absolute treat to watch at home these days. Kevin Gage taking advantage of a defensive lapse and setting up Alan McInally. Coming up now, one of the best goals of the day and possibly of the season as well. That's Cowans with the outside of the foot. This is McInally away from Parker and a cross into the far corner. 25,000 crowd on their feet. Rangers had to replace the injured Maguire and Faraday. They went down to 10 men for a while when Coney had to go off, but Coney came back on, and that's the player-manager Trevor Francis with his 10th of the season. But Trevor also picked up a rare yellow card.
Well, nice goal, Trev, but what about the booking? Are you going to fine yourself?
Well, I should look at the code of conduct tomorrow, and if necessary, yes, I should do that. But,
oh, come on, what are you going to do?
Well, it's not bad, is it? That was probably my first tackle this season, that one.
Now, tell us about Alan McInally now. 19 goals in 19 full appearances. He looks to be the player of the season almost up front.
Well, he ruined my Boxing Day. Very, very powerful player, and I would think before too long he'll be in the Scottish team. He really impressed me yesterday.
Now, just a line on the old managerial road, Trevor. How are you settling in? I know you got us all to call you boss today.
That's not true. Well, I was enjoying it up until yesterday afternoon. I think I've got to come to terms with the fact that I'm going to be judged on a match day. Obviously, the preparation during the week is important, but it was disappointing yesterday.
OK, with the benefit of hindsight, are we going to get goals in the second half here at Carrow Road this afternoon?
Well, there were 1 or 2 chances first half and some good build-up play. The finishing was a little bit poor, but I think if the midfield players keep pushing forward, I'm sure we'll see a goal in the second half.
OK, Trevor, thanks very much indeed. We're going to take another break. After that, 45 minutes action of Norwich against West Ham here at Carrow Road. Join us again.
Welcome back to Carrow Road, and we've got some bad news for West Ham United fans because Alvin Martin hasn't come out for the second half. A very capable defender is his replacement, Ray Stewart. And the captain's armband is passed to Tony Gale. Alvin Martin who's feeling the effects of a touch of the flu. So one positive note for West Ham is if they do get a penalty, Ray Stewart, who's arguably the best in the league, is back out there to take the responsibility. He's got to take a different sort of responsibility, though, in the centre of that defence, where he has played before, although, of course, most notably a full-back. Here's Devonshire. Touch from Rossignol. Devonshire linking up with him. Ince, who likes to shoot from distance, and not a bad effort. Gunn was able to smother it. Goalkeepers don't like shots which arrive on the bounce. And he got his body down behind it. And although Rossignol was charging in, hoping that the ball would ricochet off Gunn's body, it didn't. Well, they'd like to see a Norwich goal, and there is one reason here at Carrow Road for applauding that. They have the most charming song called On the Ball City, almost as old as A Christmas Carol, and it's not tainted by any cynicism. I wonder whether we'll hear that before the 90 minutes has elapsed. Brady. from Putney. Stewart tussling in with Fleck, two competitive Scotsmen together. There is a feeling in football that the First Division is very evenly matched, but Fleck trying to steal a yard on West Ham and steal a goal that might mean 3 points and take them to the top against the side which will stay at the bottom unless they win here by a massive margin. And suddenly, from playing it around in midfield, they found a more incisive ball for Fleck to chase.
Yes, it was a terrific run by Robert Fleck. He's so strong in those areas and so quick. There's nothing much a defender can do about that, Martin. When he takes off like that and goes on one of those runs, there's no defender in the world can stop him.
And it was a run that not only used his natural speed, but his speed of thought as well, to get on the blind side of the defender initially and then power away.
But having got there, really should have hit the shot on target.
Yes, it's a match that's so far been let down by the quality of finishing, not by the approach work. Norwich have scored in every league game this season except one, the last home game against Arsenal. They've got a corner, forced by Gordon. Product of the Norfolk area, Dale Gordon. First came to light as a schoolboy international, played at Wembley. Phelan a little deeper this time. Rosario. Well, he's got all the physical attributes at 6'4", Robert Rosario. And I wonder there whether that's the first sign, Trevor, that Alvin Martin's going to be missed.
Well, it's a bitter blow to West Ham, because as you saw there, Rosario a good 5 inches above Ray Stewart. It's difficult for Ray to handle him because obviously lacking in height, and Rosario being so strong in the air, it would cause most defenders trouble.
To get it to safety. A crowd of 17,500 here at Carrow Road. Most of them hoping that Norwich City can break through. Putney looking to set up Townsend. Fleck busy again. And Bowen is free. Townsend right in there. Rosario, play on, says the referee. Crook. Might play Norwich to throw in a few more high balls now without Alvin Martin, and McKnight had to come for this one. And Norwich will be urging Rosario to throw himself at everything, however painful it might be. Kelly. West Ham have won only 3 First Division games this season, 2 of them away at Wimbledon, and then a tremendous result for them at Millwall. Rossinia against Phelan, and it was a terrific save by Gunn at full stretch. Rossinia took the shot a little early, perhaps. It was a good idea. It certainly had the goalkeeper trying to show off the full extension of his leap. And Alan Devonshire takes the corner for West Ham. Gale waiting by the near post. Kelly right in, trying to distract the goalkeeper. Rossinia Marked by Rosario. Devonshire again. Away by Culverhouse.
Excellent save there by Brian Gunn in the Norwich goal. I think if we could see that again, the ball was actually deflected, which made the save even better.
Took a little flick off Phelan. And Gunn still came up with the answer. Senior shot just flicking off the knee of Michael Phelan, and Brian Gunn really clawing it away. Gordon chasing, McKnight is committed, and Norwich have a real chance, and Gordon has scored! How did he squeeze it in from there? And what will McKnight think about it? So smiles on the Norwich City bench, although not from the coach, Dave Williams, and certainly not from West Ham's viewpoint. Did McKnight have to go? But Gordon got round him and found the perfect shot. Trevor.
Well, Norwich would be delighted with that, because first of all we saw a great pass from Rosario, a tremendous finish from Gordon from a really acute angle, but really Alan McKnight would be disgusted with that because he made the wrong decision. He had no need to come, and by him coming there, he made Gordon's mind up for him. If he had stayed in his goal, Gordon could have only put a cross in.
Here's Brady. Norwich in full cry. Crook. West Ham rocking, not just at conceding a goal, but at the nature of the goal. But Gordon was able to fasten on to Rosario's perceptive pass. And goalkeeping mistakes are always ones that are likely to be the most conspicuous. And I think there's one here that Alan McKnight will have to live with. So, another statistic down to the name of Dale Gordon. His third league goal of the season, his fourth overall. And another little jog towards the memory of Bobby Robson. Gordon, who got past the charging Alan McKnight. McKnight, who showed such potential with Celtic, although he couldn't command a regular first-team place, which is why he moved to West Ham. And still relatively young in terms of experience, and goalkeeping is a learning process. And he's got a long career, I'm sure, ahead of him in the game. But just to go back to Dale Gordon, he got into trouble on an England under-20 tour, broke a curfew and served a suspension from international football. But that has been wiped off now, the slate is clean. And this new slimline Dale Gordon has come up with a goal here which might steer Norwich City back to the top of the First Division. Devonshire, the gauntlet thrown down to West Ham United. The header out from Phelan. Kelly, Ince. I'm just wondering about the punter, who's hoping to win £250,000 if this finishes 1-1. Paul Ince's shots had been a yard either side. 1-1 might have been the scoreline. Chested off beautifully by Kelly, great set-up play. But if anything, Ince hit it too well. Townsend. And Fleck had to check to avoid going offside. In fact, he was offside in any case, but he couldn't chase on. Townsend. The goal has opened the game up. And it's filled Norwich City with confidence. Just a little nervy in the first half on their big day in front of the national audience.
I was only thinking, Martin, up until the goal, although there's 19 places difference between the two teams, if anything, West Ham looked the more confident.
Well, certainly the old hands like Brady and Devonshire coping with the particular pressures of this type of match, perhaps better than the less experienced Norwich counterparts. But Brady now has got to try and unlock the Norwich defence. Good strong play by Culverhouse. And the senior may have spoken out of turn. A lecture, but not a caution.
I think one of the reasons why Norwich have got so many away wins because they are a particularly good team at counter-attacking. And at the moment, West Ham pushing forward, it will certainly suit Norwich now.
Brooke with the free kick. Rosario jumping with Stewart. Players from both sides appealing, but the decision is a goal kick. Alan McKnight is in competition at Upton Park with Tom McAllister and Phil Parkes. Indeed, Tom McAllister travelled with the team for this game as cover. Rosario beating Stewart. Here's Townsend. Here's two for Norwich City. And you certainly wonder that time whether Rosario would have got that first header down had Martin been there. He won the ball cleanly. And Townsend, who's been breaking forward in an eye-catching way from midfield, did it this time to devastating effect.
Well, Townsend certainly deserves to score that goal. From the very, very first minute, he's been making these runs through and there's been no stopping him. He deserves that.
It's a happy tune from the Canaries now. 2 goals in 7 minutes. And Townsend, the man for the big occasion, we said at the outset. Winners at Manchester United and at Liverpool. And the goal here that will stabilise the Norwich City position in this game. Just got the first touch to it. And there was no real chance for McKnight this time. He was left exposed. He came from Southampton just before the season started. And he certainly picks his moments to score.
The terminology in football, Martin, for a run like that is third man running, and we saw that at his best there. Rosario with a good flick on to Fleck. He held it up, waited for the third man to come, and there was Townsend through and finished it in good style. Excellent goal.
and it's really a style that West Ham have made their trademark over the last 20 years or so. So often they get the third man in. Much more satisfactory now for Norwich City, but at the other side of that dugout, West Ham will feel that they've been a little cruelly hit by Alvin Martin's illness, conceding 2 goals since his departure at half-time. Paris. Oh, well held. Great handling by Brian Gunn, who's hoping to force his way into Andy Roxburgh's plans with Scotland. Gordon. Well, it didn't go out. And Fleck forced the goalkeeper into another save. Well, Devonshire and company trying to lift the spirits of the Hammers. Bowen Stackle. Beginning to look as though the Pools panel sat very wisely yesterday and predicted this as a home win. They'll be happy. The gentleman who had £250,000 riding on a 1-1 draw here, less so. It's Brady. West Ham have got to gamble now. Brady to take the free kick. Dickens jumping for it. Collected by Paris. Gordon can counter-attack here. Fleck is to his left, beautifully found. But the linesman has the final say. But Trevor, it just proved the point you were making about how it will suit Norwich even more now.
Yes, they're playing now as if they're the away team, because it suits them very much. West Ham had to come forward in search of a goal, and Norwich are just hitting them on the break all the time. Well, was it offside?
Very close.
But when you haven't scored for 8 games like Robert Fleck has, that's what happens.
It might not be the last chance he has in this game. Although Norwich are warming up their substitutes, and Alan Taylor in particular will be bursting to get on. Here's Potts. Bowen. Crook. Here's Devonshire. Kelly peeling away to the left. Intercepted by Culverhouse. West Ham losing some of their shape now. Townsend. Well, they haven't been pressured all season into giving the ball away too much, Norwich. They're quite happy to take an extra touch in midfield and play the football the way they want it played. Fleck. You mentioned his lack of goals recently, Trevor. He's also the penalty taker, and would you believe it, Norwich City haven't had a penalty all season. So he can't even tick along like that. Offside. Clean sheet, possibly on the way here for Brian Gunn. It's certainly been an active afternoon for the home goalkeeper. Gordon. Paul Ince, who will be suspended for the 2 games over the next weekend. So West Ham, who played Charlton in a particularly crucial match on Saturday, finding problem mounting upon problem. It's never been their way to complain publicly about their difficulties. They just get on with the job at Upton Park. It's a mountainous job for the players out here at Carrow Road. Devonshire. "20 minutes left. Norwich City 2, West Ham 0. Here's Potts. Senior wanting an early cross. Potts supplying it. And only finding the head of Linnigan, helped on by Crook. Rosario, who's shown some good touches on the ground. And Gordon and Norwich really relaxing now and playing to their capabilities. And trying to give West Ham a chasing over the time that remains. Dickens. Ince trying to construct something with the help of Brady, and now Potts. And West Ham through Rossinier trying to capitalise on the cross. Potts again. Free header down from Rossinier. Kelly. It's a penalty. A push on Kelly. And West Ham now have some hope, and they'll be pleased that they've got Ray Stewart on. Norwich were caught out first of all by the amount of room they allowed Rossinier to knock the ball down. And then it was Phelan who caught Kelly right under the nose of the referee. Norwich do feel they've been harshly done by penalty decisions against them this season. They're on the wrong end of another one. And Ray Stewart with such a superb record from the spot. And you can see why. Unstoppable. 2-1. Into the corner. And Ray Stewart, by my reckoning, has now scored 84 goals in League and Cup for West Ham. As a defender, that is simply extraordinary. And most of them have been penalties. Rossinier. West Ham really with something to bite on now. Trevor, I must say, from our angle up here, we were a bit masked by Michael Phelan's positioning there, but there did seem to be some contact on Kelly.
Yes, I would think it was a little bit unnecessary, really, because I didn't feel that Kelly would have scored, but I think it was the right decision, because there was certainly no protest from the Norwich defenders.
Here's Ince. It's a different game now. Kelly. He was the culprit that time. Going beyond Rosario. In fact, Tony Gale bundled into the back of Robert Rosario. Rosario with a header from Crook's free kick. And he appreciated the ball in. West Ham just making sure they were concentrating at the back, but they still allowed Rosario to get there first. And the mood within Carrow Road has changed dramatically. The home supporters suddenly getting anxious, and it looked as though it was going to be something of a carnival at Christmas. West Ham are looking to make their second substitution. Kevin Keane waiting for the right moment. And the ball goes out of play. This may be the time. It's going to be Alan Dickens to be replaced. Kevin Keane of good footballing stock. All the viewers will remember his father, Mike, a great servant at Queen's Park Rangers. And so Keane's arrival with 15 minutes to go. Detect the anxiety in the crowd again. Stewart. Gale. Ince went in bravely because Putney had raised the boot then. No need to stop the play as West Ham still have the ball. We'll be hoping to put it to good use to continue the comeback. The free kick's gone against them now.
With Keane coming on, they've slightly changed the tactics, West Ham. Rather than play 4-4-2, they've now gone to a 4-3-3 system.
Actually, Trevor, it's the same position that you found yourself in your game yesterday at Aston Villa.
you got the goal back to make it 2-1, and obviously, from the West Ham viewpoint, the confidence floods through then.
And that's right, West Ham have gambled slightly by bringing on Keane, fresh legs, and they're looking for a bit of inspiration from him. But with him going to a wide position, that's allowed Liam Brady to take on a more central role now.
Gale. Here's Rossinia. And Gunn won't get there. Kelly might, but not when he wanted to get there. Hint of relief about the smile from Gunn. And suddenly Norwich City looking very nervous. Here's Rossinia. It was a testing ball across the face of Gunn's goal. Now Brady, players to his left, including Paris, and then Devonshire beyond him. Through the centre, Rossinia. Kelly. Only Rosario upfield, and you can see he's tracking back now. Well, it's a game that's lasted the distance, because the possibilities here that West Ham could level it up and spoil the Norwich Christmas, or that the way Norwich have played in the second half, they might find space to gallop away to seal the victory with a third goal. Rosario. He's still full of battling. Gale. Rossinia's offside. Here's Crook. And McKnight almost getting too close to his own player there, Paris. There wasn't much distance between the two of them at the end of it, but this time it was safe enough for West Ham. Milligan happy to play it back. Rosario's flick. Just won't drop where Robert Fleck wants it. Brady. Beyond Bowen, beautifully played for David Kelly. Hit Phelan. Stretching to boot it away was Ian Crook. And a good tackle by Putney. A telling tackle on Potts, who had a lot of room to move into had he got away with the ball then. Stewart. All credit to West Ham. They looked out of it, 2-0 down, 2 goals conceded in 7 minutes at a crucial stage in the second half. The captain, Alvin Martin, off, ill. And he wouldn't bet against an equaliser. Stewart. Rossinia, who's becoming more and more of a handful for Norwich. Wasn't the best pass he's played, though. Devonshire has competed well to win it back. Paris. Gale always prepared to link up further forward. George Paris as well. The flag has stayed down. West Ham have a corner. Paris leaves it to Devonshire. Gale well beaten by Linnigan. It was a terrific defensive header. Norwich tried to push out, although they didn't do it too quickly. Brady running free.
Martin, the Norwich players have put a lot of effort into this game, and they haven't made a substitution as yet, and I would think that now David String is seriously considering pulling someone off to put a pair of fresh legs on.
Phelan. Smuggled away by Putney. Rosario. Phelan stopped by Stewart. Norwich still pushed into their own half of the field. Ince. Stewart trying to roll it into the feet of Kelly. The crowd wanting more from the home side. They're sitting back at the moment and letting West Ham come to them. Gale doing just that. Involved again. Brady. Messina and Keane in the middle. And Phelan, that was a difficult ball to deal with on the stretch, facing your own goal. Paris. A lot of room though for Mark Bowen. And Norwich have plenty of players to their right. Bowen involved again. Fleck lets it run on for Crook, and possibly it wasn't the right decision because West Ham are now back. Townsend. Ooh, that was very well hit, as Tony Gale would know, because he blocked it. Rossini. Keane. And just when Norwich had spare players in the attack, have they got enough players back? Potts is in there, who's never scored a league goal. Well, Butterworth on the left and Alan Taylor continue to warm up. We're into the last 5 minutes. And if Norwich do go top at the end of this, they'll have worked very hard for it. And enough signs from the way West Ham have responded to suggest that they might be up to the battles that they've got ahead of them over the rest of the season. Gordon. Crook is offside. Who've scored 20 goals in 6 cup ties this season, but only 15 in almost 18 First Division games. And they nick another one here, which would mean a lot to them. Wouldn't take them off the bottom, but it would be a barometer of the spirit in the club, the fighting spirit. Putney. There's Fleck. And it's Putney through the centre, and possibly the legs a little bit tired in any case. He's a bubbly character, Trevor Putney, and he saw the funny side of it. Keane. Trevor, it's been a game of ebbs and flows, but it's decision time in your role as adjudicator for our Barclays Man of the Match.
Yes. Well, I've been very impressed with Liam Brady for West Ham, but I think there can only be one winner today, and that's for Norwich, and that's Andy Townsend.
And he's put so much into it that he goes off for the 3 minutes that remain. And this is purely a defensive move. Townsend, the raider from midfield, is replaced by Butterworth, the defender, to try and just shore things up for Norwich City. Ian Butterworth, a regular for most of the season until he lost his place through illness. Missed out at Anfield. So Michael Phelan back in midfield. Ince, it's opened up. Paul Ince, a brilliant run. Had that ended in a goal, I think we'd have worn the videotape out showing it to you again and again. A tremendous show of enterprise. In the end, he just lost his way, although he still managed to get in the shot. Brady. Anxious times these for Norwich City. Gale, everyone but McKnight in the Norwich half. And the team that will lead the First Division, if the scoreline stays the same, are hanging on against the bottom club. Second half really to enjoy and to indicate, although it's been difficult for Norwich in the last 15 minutes, that they're worthy of what the league table shows they've achieved so far this season. Achievements, of course, as Kenny Dalglish and George Graham are quick to point out, that really don't count for anything except a bit of prestige. Trevor, it's very open and it's a real leading question, but do you see Norwich as good enough to win the championship?
Well, the only game I've missed this season actually was against Norwich here, so it's the first time I've seen them live and I've been very impressed. But I've said all along that I think Liverpool win the championship, with Arsenal their most serious challengers. But I honestly think that Norwich can sustain this challenge and stay amongst the leaders.
And West Ham, can they stay in the First Division?
Well, they've certainly played their part in a good game here today. It's going to be difficult for them, but there's a long way to go in this season.
Norwich City return to the top of the First Division. 2 goals in 7 minutes at the outset of the second half from Dale Gordon, and man of the match, Andy Townsend. Then the scare with the penalty, with Phelan bringing down Kelly, rammed in by Ray Stewart. But Norwich have beaten West Ham by 2 goals to 1. We'll take a short break.
Welcome back. Well, they've been inviting us here for a couple of months. We came, we saw, and Norwich duly conquered. Let's have a look at the top of the First Division. As you can see, they've got their 2-point lead back over Arsenal, but just look there, the threat of Liverpool and Everton. The bottom of the First Division, you can see that West Ham 3 points adrift from Charlton, who they play next week, and really West Ham not as bad as that position suggests. Well, as Trevor Francis said, Andy Townsend is the man of the match. Now, he's one of the players who are down in the dressing room area now with Jim Rosenthal.
Yes, Elton, thank you very much indeed. We're all down here. Andy Townsend, Barclays man of the match. Very well done indeed, and a good 3 points and a welcome home performance, I would think.
That's right, yeah. We've been due a home win now for a while, so yeah, we're pleased. We had a bit of a spell there, second half, where we couldn't get out of our own half, but you know, yeah, in the end we got the 3 points, and it's just what we wanted.
Terrific. Mickey Phelan, you've spilt blood for your club today. 1 or 2 doubts about the penalty, perhaps?
No, I think in the end it was probably fair. We come out winners, so we're quite happy, really. The game went well, really. We thought we entertained quite well, and it was end-to-end stuff, so I think everybody's happy.
And a lot of credit to West Ham for the way they battled back.
Yes, they're always a team that will always play football, and that suits us, and credit to them, they came here and they played.
And Dale Gordon, you said it all running. I mean, what was your view of your goal? The keeper really committed himself and let you in with a chance, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. It's a bit surprised the keeper came, actually, and just took it round him and just squeezed it in the narrow angle.
But pleased with that, I think, because a lot of players might have missed from there.
Yeah, I had visions of it slicing off my right foot and then, into the stand, but it's nice to see that one go in, so it's great, yeah.
Right. Nicky, let's come back from you. I mean, as skipper, and the country would have watched you today, and they'll be asking, can they keep it up? I mean, can you stay top in 89?
Well, the way we're playing at the moment, the confidence is high and everything. I think we're up there on merit, and we're just going to give it all we've got right to the end of the season.
It's a pleasure to come to Carrow Road. Thanks for joining us so quickly.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Cheers, mate.
Yes, it has been. Thanks to everyone here. Norwich's first home win since October the 22nd. Now, we've got 2 games in the new year, New Year's Day. It's Manchester United against Liverpool. The following day, at the slightly later kick-off time, it's Arsenal against Spurs. So join us for those 2 matches. From all of us at Carrow Road, bye-bye.